So, good evening, good evening. We are back again. We have some bad news this time. We're going to talk about Saka and how long he could be out for, which is not good. It's not a good evening for him when he's found out the extent of the injury. Big up to LB for the raid as well. Big up to everyone who's come through from LB's raid. And he's had more emergency meetings than me recently, with Man City being in the mud. But yeah, Jez, Merry Crimbo, mate. How are you?
Yeah, Merry Christmas, one and all. I'm good. Yeah, I'm very good, mate. Yeah, all ready and waiting and things, and just hoping that Father Christmas delivers us the Premier League.
Could be waiting a long time for that, mate. Kenny, Merry Christmas, mate. How are you? How's your Monday been, mate? You're on mute, mate.
Putting myself on mute. Yeah, because just because of background noise. But yeah, had a good Monday today, working, bit of a rest. Sunday wasn't great watching Liverpool thrash Tottenham, but it was great because I hate Tottenham. But to see how bad Tottenham are, I'm thinking, oh my God, I swear I played like that when I was 15. But going back to the news about Saka, very, very, very worrying. We're going to miss him big time because it's a worrying injury.
Yeah, very. Matty, Merry Christmas, mate. How's your Monday going?
Merry Christmas, everybody. Jez is looking for a Premier League. I'm hoping that Santa Claus come down the chimney and bring us a Carabao Cup and some more goals for Jesus because we're gonna need them. Because the worst news we could get was what we've gotten today. So yeah, it's a rough one, man. Rough Monday. Rough start to today, man. So
100%. But Statics pins the links for Jez's channel, Arsenal History and More, Matty's channel, Southern Guna, and Kenny's Insta, Kenny 1972. That's in the live chat pinned. Smash the likes up as well. That'd be great. Also, in about an hour from now, just over an hour, I'll be on the other channel back-to-back watch-alongs for Serie A. Fiorentina are playing against Udinese, and then Inter Milan, as Kenny calls them, Internazionale Milano, are playing Cesc Fabregas FC Como. And they're back-to-back, early kick-off and then a late kick-off. And then after that, no more watch-alongs tomorrow. There's no games. So I can have a little bit of an evening off. But anyway, let's start with the game first, actually, before we talk about Saka. Jez, obviously, we bagged 5 goals. Saka went off. Put Martinelli out on the right. He actually done all right on the right wing, I can't lie. But whether he can do that over a course of the next few months remains to be seen. Jesus again, another 2 goals. 29 chips in. But defensively, we looked all over the place in the first half again. I don't know what Saliba was taking. I don't know if he went out and had his Christmas party the night before, but he looks like he was hungover. And Skelly, for me, was our best defender. Our midfield got walked through at times. Second half was a lot better, but what did you make of it overall?
Yeah, it was a bit of up and down, wasn't it, really? Let's be honest. But Jesus, again, fair play, scores a goal. We got sloppy. Saliba, don't know what he was doing there. They got their equaliser. We then scored again. And basically after that, it was basically one-way traffic, which we always like to see. Shame he didn't get his second hat-trick. Now, that's a question. Kenny, I'm going to ask you this in a minute. Have a think about this one. Can you think of any Arsenal player that scored back-to-back hat-tricks? I can't. Have a think about it. It was a great result to go to Selhurst Park and win 5-1. Like, you can't deny that. But as you just quite rightly said, we looked a bit out of shape in midfield. Our defence looked a bit creaky. And Saka, well, we're going to come on to that, aren't we? That is not good news. And the fact we got Martinelli out on the right. Who knew a right-footed player could actually play on the right? Hey, there you go. I'm sure we've had players do that before. But he did. I thought he did very well, Martinelli, to be fair. I thought he put in a good shift and put some lovely crosses in, which actually Wasn't it he that put the cross in for Havertz's goal? Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, okay.
Martinelli put that in. Yeah, Martinelli.
Yeah, so it worked. As you say, can he hold that position for, could be a few months, who knows? I don't know, but I'd like to think so. Maybe that's a new position for him, that maybe that we've all been thinking could be a move, give Saka some rest. We're going to find out very shortly, people. Ipswich Town on the 27th, late kickoff. I don't know why it's that late, but hey, it is what it is. But we're going to find out very quickly, people.
100%. Kenny, you was at the game, and I bet you were ripping your hair out in the first half, weren't you? I bet you're going crazy with some of the defending you were witnessing.
You know what? It's a myth that people think that we've got this great defence. We haven't, because simple reason, the midfield's not up to protecting the defence. And if you play the ball over the top, our defenders struggle. And they struggled, quite a bit against Crystal Palace. And they struggled a bit in the League Cup game. But against Crystal Palace, we were sloppy. The 5-1, probably was, as a performance, is a bit of a myth. What we did really well was that we scored at the right times, and every time Crystal Palace had ambitions of trying to get back into the game, we managed to score at the right times. Scoring the first goal, then they equalised, and we got a second goal, and then after that, every time they had their chance, boom, we scored. Then they had another chance, boom, we scored, and then we virtually killed the game off. But it was really, 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 really sloppy. But one thing I was really impressed with, I have to admit, I was impressed with Martinelli when he went down the right-hand side. And the reason why I liked Martinelli, he just kept his game simple. He just did what he does best, just attack. Don't worry about, tracking back and playing that kind of, pressing game and try to, create two banks of four. Crystal Palace weren't that type of team that were going to hurt us. They had quite a few players out, and they'll give the ball away and not. Stay upfield where you can get the ball, put your crosses in, and you'll be effective. And he got his goal as well. So I 100%, was really pleased with it. I love the fact Jesus got a couple of goals. I love the fact that Kai Havertz scored and Declan Rice scored. But that performance, just like Monaco, it posed more questions than answers. The answers was obviously the scoreline. In fact, we won. But there's still a lot of things that reminds me of 22-23 in terms of us off the ball. Very bad. Very, very, very bad. Even when we had our top defenders. So, but I'm not complaining. When you win 5-1 away from home, you can't complain. But just be cautious because, we've got injuries now. Key players are coming out and we need to be pitch perfect with Liverpool winning.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Especially the way their attack flows, Liverpool. But Matty, we did the watch along. They had some big chances as well. I mean, if Mateta puts that in, it could have been a different game. And then they had the Mateta shot from outside the box, and Sarr header straight to keeper. Good double save from Raya. Yeah, but if that was the other way round, and it was Mateta heading that probably would have been in the back of the net. So it's like defensively, I think we looked all over the place at times in both the Palace games this week or last week as it is now. But going forward, yeah, second half, I thought we were very, very good. Very good. And obviously loads of different goal scorers as well, which is good going forward. But what did you make of it, mate? You're on mute, man.
I kind of thought the game was a little chaotic. The first half was Palace. They were going to come out and try to make amends for the other night. Kind of played right into our hands. I sat back and I assessed this game over the weekend. After we got done Saturday, I just sat back and just kind of thought about, what we looked at. Because I had a feeling that Saka was going to be out for an extended period. So I just was sitting there thinking to myself, I said, I feel like this is the way we're going to probably end up playing most of the year. Because it's going to be a lot of over the top. It's going to be like going back and forth, because now you're in a situation where if you notice that in that second half, everybody was trying to find a way to score. because they realize that Saka, he's not out there anymore. So now everybody else has got to try to figure out a way to try to, do something. So I feel like they're going to be. Kenny kind of alluded to it there. I feel like at times this year it's going to go back to what we saw at the earliest part of the season, where one ball over the top, one ball over the top, one ball over the top, and then there's going to be times where we can just, blitzkrieg going forward, because everybody's got to try to figure out now, find a way to attack now that Saka's out of there. We got to try to solve that problem, and so I just feel like it's going to be a car crash football here for the next couple of weeks until we can figure out what exactly he wants to do. The manager wants to do. Because either I can tell you now, if he wants to sit back and play defense without Saka in this team, I can guarantee you could have some serious problems. But he's going to have to go forward. He's going to have to go forward now, and we got a taste of that with Palace. And I'm hoping, gentlemen, that this past Saturday was a one-off with Saliba. I'm praying that was just a bad breakfast. Didn't quite get to the bathroom in time before the game started. Something. Because that display from him this weekend was absolutely scandalous. Absolutely scandalous from Saliba this past weekend. And then let's not forget his friend, because his friend is we're starting to call his name a lot. And I don't relatively like to call his name. I prefer not to have to mention him. And that's Mr. Raya. Because he's starting to get a little reckless at the back. He's starting to get a little bit reckless. I'm starting to see shades of Ramsdale at the back. Just got to go find something to do. I mentioned it to you in the broadcast. He's just trying to find something to do. Brother, we just need you to be goalkeeper. How about that? And we need to stop playing out of the back against these teams that play a high press, because we'll find ourselves where they're starting to creep back into the picture again. These teams that play high press and we're trying to play out the back, play right into trouble. Lee, there was one or two times there where if like you mentioned it, if a play, you were saying that at some point this season, if we keep playing like this, somebody's gonna pass the ball and he won't be there, and they're gonna pass right into the
one of our centre backs, because he's always outside on the edge of the box to the right or the left.
Yeah,
communication ain't 100, and they have a bozo moment. They're gonna turn around and put the ball straight in our own goal.
Yep. So I mean, for me, 5-1, I'll take the 5-1. We'll always take 5 goals. But I just want to caution everybody, let everybody know it's probably going to be car crash football here for a little while. We're definitely going to see it during the holiday period. So hold on to your butts, because it's going to get wild.
100%. Let me grab these super chats real quick. Big up Riku, man. Big up, lads. Going to play hockey goalie in a bit. Enjoy it, mate. Bless up to you. Big up to RB as well. Merry Christmas to all the real ones from the Arctic part of Norway. Big up, man. Always. Yeah, I bet it's freezing. Now that Pepper's stepped in paella, we should win or he goes. Simple stuff. Yeah. Well, listen, we need to go shopping in January, and I don't see us doing it, if I'm honest, unless it's a loan deal or something like that. But we can come to transfers in a bit. But big up to you, bro. Big up Dinesh as well. Afternoon. Sad to hear Saka injury. I hope he's back soon. As a Liverpool fan, I blame the manager. Should have got a backup for Saka and your owners. So it's on the manager and the owners. I agree. Yeah, we've been waiting for a Saka replacement or backup for 5 years. But he's only signed how many forwards since he's been here? He don't like forwards, bro. But yeah, big up to you, man. But yeah, let's talk about this Saka injury, because I know people online take the piss and fucking say limps around all the time when he's having a shitter and this and that. Yeah, but you could see straight away, that he was in a lot of pain when he went down. Yeah, and he was really squeezing his hamstring, really squeezing it with his hand. Yeah, and as soon as he put his hand over his mouth and the physio came on, I was like, yeah, he's fucked. He's done. Yeah, he's done. And I said to you, Matty, I said, if he's done a grade 3, he's fucked for about 3 months. Yeah, so let's hope it's a grade 1 or 2. And then he'll be back within 4 weeks, 6 weeks maybe. Grade 3. Oh, I don't think it's looking good either. Lads, I need to go bathroom here. So any of you can discuss it. Just crack on. I'll be back as quick as I can. Yeah.
Not looking good for Lee.
Well, he walked out ground on crutches. That's never a good sign, is it?
Nah, that's, Jez, I just, this is the thing about hamstring, is that with it being cold, this is the worst type weather to have to try to rehab any grade, because and even coming back. I think what I heard this morning, like I came in before we got started, so I want to say what I heard this morning was 6 weeks. I'm going to say add an extra 3 to that just to kind of get back to playing speed. So you're looking at probably about anywhere from 6 to 9 weeks.
Do you reckon, Matty, he might, if it is a really bad tear, do you reckon he might not go to rehab in a hot climate?
You know, he could come over here. He could. You know, I've heard quite a few players actually when they're you know injured, they rehab out in California. So he could very well come out here.
That's just a thought. Just a thought that, you know, you're quite correct. Muscle injuries in cold weather are never easy to heal quickly. So there's options where maybe he could go to training camp in a hot climate. Maybe that'll assist him. I don't know. You
know, the thing about it, Jez, is we all had this discussion here at the beginning of the year. We all, and Kenny mentioned it, we were short. We were always light in numbers. And right as we got ready to get players back, kind of start to get everything back, now this happens. And then I'm afraid that we're probably going to have it happen to another player again. And then the chat, you know, shout out to the chat. People were saying in the chat that Sterling's out as well with a knee injury. So it's like, okay, so I feel like we're back at square one again with this injury discussion. Now, the manager did come out last week and he did say what? He said, well, we'll look to see if we got any injuries and then we might go into the market. I mean, Kenny, he's going to have to go into the market. If we get another injury, he's going to have to go into that market, whether it be a loan or what. But we're going to have to, and please, for God's sake, I don't want to hear people start talking about Rashford. I know that's going to be the top of the town.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Marcus Rashford, you know, this is an Arsenal show anyway, so we're not going to mention him. But you know, it's clear that Ruben Amorim has told Marcus Rashford he's not part of his plans to look for another club. Hence the fact no one at Man United has batted an eyelid that he's had a lot to say about the fact that he needs a new challenge. You only say that if you've been told that you're no longer part of the plans. But in terms of the transfer dealings, I always said that nothing was going to happen unless there's an extenuating circumstance. I think Saka being injured for a long time and Sterling being out is an extenuating circumstance. The way Mick Arteta was talking, you know, there's a guy called Connor Hume who I think he did works at Sky. I don't know if he still works there, but I know he does some social media for AFTV and he does it independently. Arteta said that he hopes that, you know, he thinks Saka will be back before the end of the season. Now, if he's saying he's back before the end of the season, then it's a grade 3 tear. He may think he's worried that it might be a grade 3 tear because, yeah, we're talking about 3 months, but hopefully, you know, it's going to be a grade 2. If it was a grade 3, then yeah, you definitely got to go in the market, and we are definitely weakened. I don't want to offend any Odegaard fans, and it's not picking a fight. Losing Saka is a much bigger loss than losing Odegaard, and that's not being disrespectful. You only have to look at Saka's output since in the last 4 years to, you know, you use that as leverage or as evidence. You know, Saka's is our best player. You know, people say Odegaard, respect. People say that. I've got a lot of respect for that. But who's a player we have that can get something out of nothing? It isn't Martin Odegaard. It's Saka.
Yep. And that's, you know, once again this weekend, that brings me to a point with Odegaard. Another weekend, Kenny, we talked about these physical teams. He has the most trouble with these physical teams, man. He has a lot of trouble with physical teams, and he's gonna have to strengthen up for me, man. Odegaard is just way too easy to get pushed off the ball at times. I mean, he was just getting moved around.
You know what's going to happen here, right? God forbid that it is a grade 3 injury, right? God forbid. But you know what it does? It gives the Arteta sexuals license to say, well, he doesn't win anything again this season. Oh, well, we lost our playmaker in Saka. Oh, well, you know, that's what cost us the league. Oh, well, that's what cost us Europe. Oh, well, that's what cost us the FA Cup. You know it's going to come out like that. And the fact we've got the Carrier Bag Cup against Newcastle, which is not an easy situation. I'd much rather have had Spurs. I said that for 2 reasons, but it's the ultimate excuse again for all the sexuals. Well, it's not Mikel. It was Saka. He got injured. Sterling. Well, I think that's going to be a bullshit one because we never play him anyway. Let's be fair. But at the end of the day, it's written in the stars, mate, that if he goes out for 2-3 months, pretty much that's the end of the season, really, because games will be done and dusted by then. And this is what pisses me off. This is what really annoys me about this football club. You haven't invested in the right area again. And now we're sitting here, fingers crossed, hoping it's not a bad injury, because at the end of the day, it just gives him more license to go again. Right? And come the summer, it will be, let's go again and buy a load of crap. There you go. Simple.
Yeah, I think so. You're right, because I think what's happened is that it was risk and reward our summer transfer because he really felt he needed a defender. He really felt he needed Marino, but he thought that getting Sterling, he probably was persuaded to get him in anyway, that he had adequate cover. But what this season's told us, and it was something we discussed 2 years ago, the squad's too thin. I remember having a conversation with John Cross on the way from Brentford 2 years ago, and he said, the thing that will stop you from winning the league is your squad's too thin. 2 years down the line, we're in the same situation where injuries like that, squad's too thin. But I think you go back as far as to say that what's really caused it is his refusal to rotate. I was saying, please rotate, because if you don't rotate, you're going to risk burning out your players. Now, I'm not saying Saka's injury has caused for a burnout, but with the amount of games he's played and the fact that he's never been rested, and he even started one Carling Cup game, and he came on against Crystal Palace. Where's the rest? It's not rocket science to say this is what's happened. So again, he's going to have to buy, because it is an emergency, as I said earlier before, because games coming thick and fast. Liverpool winning. I'm telling you right now, we can't afford to drop points, but we've got a thin squad. Something's going to have to give.
Do you think they would? Kenny and Matty, this is a good point, actually. Very good point that you just raised. Let's just say theoretically that it is a bad tear, right? And he's going to be out till March, early April, let's say, right? Do you honestly believe? Because I did see a comment that Josh Kroenke made that he said we would only buy in big in January if we really had to. Do you believe that would happen? I'd love to hear your guys' opinion on that.
I think if the injury is bad enough, or we have injuries, plural, I think that their hands will be forced, especially if Saka's a long term. If he's at grade 3, then yeah, because the grade 3s are extremely tricky, because you can come right back and get it and turn right back around and do it if it's not, you don't give yourself enough time. I could easily see us going into the market if it's that situation. If it's a case of if you start hearing stuff, and you know how our PR machine works. So if you start hearing stuff like much better than expected, not as bad, stuff like that, then no, all bets off. We're not getting anybody. We're not getting anything. That's if it's just Saka. If we end up playing the next couple of games here and we get any more injuries combined with all of that and it's bad news, yeah, we'll probably get a loan. We won't buy anybody. We'll get a loan. I guarantee we'll get a loan.
This all comes back down to the manager. Yeah, because let's be real with this, right? How many times have we brought Bukayo Saka onto the pitch? Yeah, when we're winning a game. Yeah, like when there's no need. Like, I'll give an example. Yeah, was it Bolton or Preston?
Bolton.
Yeah, we were about 4-1 up or 4-0 up or whatever it was, and he brings Saka on. Why? Yeah, games when we're winning. I'll give you another example. Long's at home. We absolutely battered them, and it was like 4 or 5 at half time. Why not take him off? Do you know what I'm saying? There's been so many instances where we've slapped teams up real quick. Yeah, and he's played the full 90. And it's like, oh, surely he's going to rest Saka now. And then it'd be Martinelli come off instead. And then we're sitting there going, well, why is he still on the pitch? Yeah, so I don't want to hear no excuses at the end of the season. When people go, oh, it's because Saka got injured. Blame your manager. Yeah, because he overplays him every single season.
They won't.
Yeah, let's be real with it. No, they won't.
They won't do it.
No, they won't. Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this on Said's show earlier. And LB made a very good point. Yeah, I want to get your thoughts on it as well. But big up to the chat as well. There's 1,000 people in here. 200 likes is shocking. Big up to Never a Fowler as well for the raid. Big up to you, man. Big up Caspro. Always. Love, brother. And big up to everyone who's coming in from Never a Foul as well. Make sure you sub to them if you haven't. But I want to get your views on this as well. Because LB said PSR is the best thing ever designed. Yeah, to fucking fleece the fan base. Yeah, and get the ownership rich. Even more rich. Because they can hide behind PSR and say, well, we can't spend the money because we have to balance the books. And the only way we can do that is by putting the prices of everything up. Yeah. So then everyone's like little sheep. Yeah, goes running off to go and buy the new kit for 105 quid or whatever it is. Yeah, the tickets go up every year, or pretty much every year. Yeah, and everything's a rip-off inside the stadium. Tea, biscuits, coffee, food, anything food or drink related is a rip-off. And then they go, well, we can't go out and spend any money, mate. We get done by PSR. Yeah, I think that's a good point he made, because there's a lot of clubs doing this. Arsenal, Tottenham, yeah, Man United to a lesser degree, but I mean, that club's fucked anyway. Let's just be real with it. But Arsenal and Tottenham are the two biggest ones in the Prem that do this. Yeah, yesterday when we watched them getting banged 5-1 at one point, that whole stadium should have emptied. And they were singing Ange Postecoglou's song at 5-1 down. Yeah. This is where we're at, lads. This is where we're at with English football. Everyone's been brainwashed. Well, I don't know what you guys think of that.
I just think, Lee, that we all saw this coming. We all saw this coming at the beginning of the season. Jez emphatically said right here a couple of weeks before the season started and said we're 2 injuries away from chaos. This was well before the window closed. We then proceed to go through the window. You know, and we see that he buys defense in midfield. And as you've been saying for the last 2 years, he has not bought an offensive player. I'm not counting Sterling. We're not counting Sterling. That doesn't count.
I'm not counting 29 either. He bought him as a midfielder.
Yeah, he's a midfielder. Yeah, he was a midfielder. Yeah, you know. So when you look at it, Lee, and you ran these players and see that people forget this is year 5. He's ran most of these players. Like Saka, man, y'all forgot Saka played almost the entire last 2 years. I mean, with international football and league. So that's like riding around. He's like riding around in a Hyundai Sonata. I mean, we ran him into the ground. And so, you know, at some point, you know, he was going to wind up getting in. It's been a modern miracle that he really hadn't had anything major. But this manager just does not believe in having a plan B, whether it's on the pitch or off the pitch. And now we're in a situation where he's got to really sit around and think about what he wants to do, because we're going to need some goals. Saka, I don't know what the goal tally was because I hadn't checked in a while, but I know it's up there. He's been scoring goals for us left and right. And so now I'm thankful Jesus has scored. But, you know, I had an epiphany this morning on the way to breakfast with a buddy of mine. I was thinking to myself, well, is it just Crystal Palace he can score against? Or will we see on Friday? Well, can he keep this up against Ipswich and then whoever we play after behind that? Because we're going to need goals. We're going to need those goals. And it upsets me that Edu and Arteta sat around this summer and they did not go do exactly what we needed. We needed a squad, a robust squad. We knew the Champions League this year was going to be completely different than what it's been. We knew we were going to be in the Carabao Cup. We know that the FA Cup starts in January, you know. And then we've got all of those fixtures combined with the Carabao Cup, and we've got Champions League fixtures get ready to start back up. The schedule was loaded from top to bottom. We needed an adequate squad of players, and in fact, Lee, we came into this season with what was it, 22 players. Come on, bro.
In the league.
That's a high school. That's a high school squad. That's what you carry in high school.
I'm glad you've pointed that out. Yeah, I'm glad you have pointed that out because our manager said today, where is it? I'm putting some ideas together of how we're going to change things up as we had to do when Odegaard was out. Gabby can play there, and Ethan can play there. Trossard can play there, and we have 29 who can play there. He's talking about the right wing, obviously. 29 on the right wing. Are you taking the piss? Right, is he for real? Yeah, now listen to this as well. Where is it? Why can't I find it, man? Somebody get the quote in, please. I can't find it. I must have not bookmarked the tweet. Where he mentioned about the squad and all of that. Yeah, there was a quote where he mentioned about the squad. Yeah, if somebody could get that in the chat, that'd be great. This guy is a compulsive liar, this manager, mate. Yeah, and again, it's negligence. He's deliberately left us light. Yeah, we all sat here and said we needed a striker. He didn't get us one. We've been saying that for years, by the way. Last proper striker we had was flipping Aubameyang. Yeah, and Arsene Wenger brought him. And we all said that we needed somebody to help Saka out because we've got a load of games. We all said we needed somebody to help Odegaard out. And we ended up signing no players in them 3 positions. And then we're sitting there going, well, they're going to get injured this season. They're going to get injured. And there you go. Lo and behold, they've both had an injury this season. It's kept them out. Saka's going to miss about 10 games at least. He's missing the whole of fucking January. And potentially the whole of February as well.
Yeah, I think the most damning thing about this Saka situation, and it's really sad, man, is that he's going to miss those Carabao Cup matches because we need all hands on deck for Newcastle. That's not going to be easy at all. We've only had one shot on goal at St. James's Park in 2 years. One shot in 2 years.
Yeah.
We're Ryan says we're not a one-man team. We scored 3 goals without him on the pitch. Yeah, to be fair though, Ryan. Yeah, it was against Crystal Palace who were 15th. Yeah, that had Munoz suspended or injured, Caliber injured, Eze injured. Yeah, that's who was the other one? Wharton injured. Like, so it's not exactly the best Palace team. We should be slapping Palace. If we're this great, scary, amazing, scintillating team that our fans think we are, we should be battering Palace home and away. Should be battering them. But this was the comment he said. We started the season with one of the thinnest squads in the Premier League. Well, whose fucking fault was that, mate?
Exactly.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's the same after the Bayern Munich game last season when he said, well, we don't have the luxury of a 30 or 40 goal a season striker. We'll go and fucking buy one then.
Exactly.
And we're doing it.
Yeah. He's trying to drum up sympathy. He's trying to drum up sympathy with that last line. We have the thinnest squad. No shit, Sir Locke. We know that. You knew that. You knew that when the season started. We were short. You know.
Yeah. He's tried to wing it because he's had Ethan coming through, and he's thought, maybe I can get him a few games, Lewis Skelly a few games, and we'll be all right, and we can cover the injuries. Yeah, let's not forget, right? Calafiori nearly fucking went off again injured.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if he don't last much longer. Yeah, Ben White's out injured because he played him injured for the start of the season when he needed knee surgery. Zinchenko, I don't know where he is. Tomiyasu, is he alive?
Hey, don't forget, Declan got a broke toe.
Yeah, played him with a broken toe. He threw Tierney on the pitch the other day. Yeah, threw him on the pitch. He said, go down. He's not injured, but he was in the squad. Yeah, we've got, what's his name? Sterling's out injured now. Saka's out injured. We're going to have more drop like flies, mate. I'm telling you. Yeah, this manager has overplayed some of these players. Yeah, and overworked them. I don't know what the fuck they do in training. Yeah, but how is it, Thomas Partey, we know ain't going to last the rest of the season. We know that. You're on mute, Kenny.
Right. No, I don't think he's going to last this season. But you're talking about one big problem, in terms of Saka, and and the fact that Sterling injured. That is one problem. Then the left hand side, and we even got another problem now with Jesus scoring goals. Mikel Arteta's going to have to put his nuts on the table. The reason why I say he's got no, you think about it seriously. If he's got 3 places in the midfield, and he's got 5 players. 5 players can't play in that midfield. You know, we've probably given him a get out clause by saying Thomas Partey's not going to last the full season. So, but we haven't spoke about how long Mourinho's going to last, because whatever happens, because of the outlay we spent on Declan Rice and Havertz, no matter what happens, they have to play. So you look at our midfield, especially in the big games. We're gonna have a midfield: Havertz, Rice, and Odegaard. Well, before by this time last season, that midfield weren't working. So we got that problem, and then we haven't got Saka. So we got, we're going to have to finally do what a lot of fans have been asking us to do, is alternate between Martinelli and Trossard, let them confuse the opposition, because that's what we're going to have to do. But one thing is that the thing we're saying about, we're going to go on this run, blah blah. I think we'll drop points on the basis of the fact that injuries, poor performance, and players playing out of position. That's what's going to kill us this season. So we're in a situation where our best player, and the reason why I say he's our best player is because it's the way Mikel's built the team around Saka. You spoke about Plan B. Well, Plan B, when Odegaard was out, the team didn't work. Plan B without Saka is going to be impossible to work. We'll win the odd game here and there. We'll make ourselves difficult to beat. But in terms of breaking down these top sides, I do have concerns, really big concerns. But, going back to your point about PSR, what LV said about, PSR is the best thing to come about football. Well, he's wrong in a while, because PSR was really brought to stop teams like him, his side, Man City, and Chelsea from dominating English football. It was brought in to protect Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man United. And in terms of fans protesting, well, let's face it, there was never going to be a protest at Spurs. Because you think? No, I'm not slagging up Spurs fans.
The last one, they had the BTEC Ed Sheeran with a banjo outside the ground, giving it.
But the thing is that if it had been at White Hart Lane with 38,000 fans, that protest would have worked, because there's no tourists there. There's diehards. But if you go to Spurs now, it's a nice stadium where there's nice fans, like it's nice fans at the Emirates, and it's a nice stadium and more tourists. Fans who visit this country, from all over the world, or tourists, they got choice of now Arsenal, Chelsea, and Tottenham, and West Ham, all big grounds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mate. So, if you go up North, Old Trafford, Liverpool, Man City.
Yeah.
The thing is, that ownership, our ownership, the same. They're not fucking interested, mate. Yeah, they're genuinely not interested in winning. Yeah, they're here for their own portfolios and to line their own pockets. That's it. Yeah, the audacity of Tottenham, right? 17-year trophy drought they're currently on, and they're promoting Squid Game 2 Netflix season 2 coming out on Netflix in the stadium with a fuck off light show and a load of people coming out as the characters and that before kickoff. Yeah, then they go 5-1 down. They're getting absolutely battered, and they're all standing there singing Ange Postecoglou's name. Fucking tapped.
I can't believe what I just heard.
But don't worry. Oh, trust me, mate. I'll send you the video of it later. It's funny, man. Yeah. But don't worry, at half time, because you remember, you can get 10% off the next concert. Fucking knobs. Absolute weird club, that. But the thing is, it's the same at Arsenal. Not to that level. It's the same at Arsenal. They're more interested in selling us merch than they are winning and giving us trophies. They're not interested in anything other than merch. Yeah. I said this the other day on the watch along, Matty. I think it was the Wednesday game. Yeah, it was. It was the night game. Yeah. Oh, did you notice all the mascots that came out didn't have a jacket on? They just had the shorts and t-shirt and the socks. The little kids that came out, yeah? The
players only had
but our players had the fucking €180 jacket on. Why didn't the kids have one? They're going to be freezing their fucking bollocks off. Yeah, why a big? Oh, it doesn't matter. No, it don't matter. No. We've given them a free kit. They can have the free kit and have an experience on the pitch. Fucking wankers, this club. I can't stand anything about it, mate. Honestly, it's so jarring. Yeah, that we know that we're that close to being great. Yeah, and they sit here and fuck it every year. Yeah, whether that be not signing the right players. Yeah, whether that be overplaying players, i.e., Saka. Yeah, not buying the right players to play in the right positions. Football's not a tough game to figure out. You buy a player, you play him in his right position, you buy the best players available. Yeah, you go out there and say, right, I'm having him. He's 100 million. Cool, there's the money. No, I'm having him. He's 60. He's playing left wing. He's playing up front. Yeah, all of this inverted crap and all this false fucking this and goalkeepers way out of their goal to the left and the right. Just fucking, it's a simple game, mate.
You know, I heard you this morning. I was on the road, but I heard you this morning when you was on with Saeed. I think it was either Saeed or somebody brought up. They was talking about the formation that Pep plays, and I said, you know, I was thinking to myself, Lee, you know, and Kenny, Jez, y'all all remember this as well. You know, from around the way. You know, back in the day, you hear three at the back. You talking about Italian football.
Mm.
You hearing about defensive? You know, we going heavy defense. Not this three at the back thing. That's played out. Kenny, how many times have I texted you in the last 2 weeks and told you that this style of this defensive just sit back and hold the ball, that is over. Football is going back. Football is slowly on its way back to what we all grew up watching. 4-4-2.
It always is. It always, what it does is that it always change. It always goes back. All the things you've seen that were new were there in the 60s, you know, like pressing football, you know, like, you know, the gag and press. That was we were seeing that in the 70s, you know, wing backs. Well, we've seen that about 30 years ago. You know, things like
we've got a statue. Sorry to cut in, Kenny. We've got a statue of Herbert Chapman outside the ground. What formation was he playing?
Yeah, exactly.
You know now it's now Man United's manager's playing the same formation. Yeah. Now it looks all sexy in that. We were doing this in the fucking 30s.
You know the thing you were saying about inverted wingers. I ain't got a problem with inverted wingers, but I always thought that when you inverted, you had inverted wingers. One of the reasons why they weren't playing in on their natural foot in terms of right-footed players playing on the left-footed players on the left-footed players on the right. I always thought that if you're a forward and you're an inverted forward, surely you're gonna be in attacking situations and your goal output be of a higher standard. I look at the inverted forwards in this country, and I really look at their output, and I'm thinking, you're an inverted forward. What the hell's going on? I look at, for instance, I like Doku, but one thing I don't like about Doku, where's your goal? Why are you not in double figures each season? What's going on there? But I look at Mahrez when he was at Leicester. Let's look at Mahrez at Man City, regularly in the goals, regularly getting double. You know, like double.
Popular. It's technically sound, Kenny. These players ain't technically sound.
Yeah. Salah is scoring 30 goals a season as an inverted player. I look at Mane scoring about 20 goals a season. And if he wasn't scoring 25 goals a season, he was scoring at least 15. These modern players, with the exception of Saka, their goal output's a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
Yeah. Let's speak this. The way they play, it's all about keeping the ball. Let me grab these super chats. They've stacked right up. Bless up to everyone locked in as well. But yeah, Man United do have a mice infestation. This ain't even a piss take story. Man United hit by a mice infestation at Old Trafford as stadium's hygiene rating is slashed after inspectors find evidence of rodents in food kiosks and sweets. Or did Bruno rock up with his family? Rodents. Yeah, just get Bruno to fix it, man. Come on, the rats and the mice and that. I'm sure they don't get on. So they're now a 2-star rating for their food hygiene.
Hello, Ryan. Ryan Henderson. We got a interlope here. Ryan Henderson. I have a winning mentality. Laugh, mate. We've won the last 2 Prem. We would have won the last 2 Prems if it wasn't for us going up against an insane Man City team. No manager would have come in and done better than those seasons. Jurgen Klopp in 2020, Ryan, and in 2017, Antonio Conte. Yeah.
Right, okay, on that basis, 'cause we have this all the time, and I actually starred one of his messages a minute ago. I'll grab the super chat straight after. Damn, the way you lot talk about this club, I'd never guess you're an Arsenal fan. Always so critical, fucking hell. Bro, it's 1,603 days since Arsenal last won a trophy. What are we supposed to be jumping up and down for?
What American team do you support? That's all I want to know. Please be American, because I want to know what football team, what college football team, what sport do you support outside of this one? Because see, Lee, we had this discussion the other night. There's a whole different standard. And I'm getting to the point. I'm getting irritated because I see a lot of American fans that come over to European football, and then they want to play the get behind the team. But then if he's I'll just throw a team out there. Let's just say he's a Ohio State fan. They're talking about firing the Ohio State fans are talking about firing the manager. He's only lost 4 games in 2 years. He needs to be fired. If you don't know, he needs to be fired. But then when you apply that to Arsenal, then it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
You know, people need to cut that crap out. When we're being critical about this team, these are simple issues that we've seen over the last 5 years that have yet to be corrected. We've got played with short. We got a short squad again. How many years, gentlemen, have we sat here and watched this team with a short squad? We have a manager that cannot get us over the line. We have a manager that cannot coach under pressure when it's time for something serious to happen. And then we find ourselves repeating the same vicious cycle every year. And you call that being critical? Okay.
He said he don't watch American sports because apparently it's crap over here. So I'm assuming he is American then.
Yeah. So. Well,
there you go. That says it all then. So you decided to latch on to an English Premier League football club and tell us that
he watched it absolutely
for over 200 years between us. Over 200 years between us. Yeah, Kenny actually goes to the games. Yeah, Jez grew up opposite Highbury and has been to how many games, Jez? Over 2,500?
2,586.
Yeah, Kenny goes every week for every home game in London aways. Yeah, I've been going for years and years and years. I don't anymore. I've moved to Spain. Yeah, and Matty, knows more about football, coaching level, than all of us here, I'd imagine. Yeah, because Matty's actually coached football. Yeah, exactly. And plays football. And has watched Arsenal since when, Matty?
Since 95, bro. Long time.
But because we don't want the standards to be on the floor, which they are, then that's a problem. Since when has it been a problem to want to win? Me and LB were talking about this earlier, and he said this on his stream straight afterwards as well. Yeah, he said English football, it's like nobody wants to fucking win anything anymore. No. It's just a nice day out. Fuck your day out. Give me a trophy. Yeah, and I don't want to hear nothing about Pep. He's up against Pep. Yeah, 5 years deep of Arsene Wenger being at this football club, he done 2 doubles against the greatest manager I've ever seen. Yeah, with a better team, more money, a bigger stadium, and a better fucking manager. Yeah, how comes Arsene Wenger could find a way? I'm sick to death of this. Yeah, 1,603 days without a trophy. Yeah, Kenny, you were going then 4.5 years deep into Wenger without a trophy. Fans were beating each other up in the stadium. Wenger in, Wenger out. And look how happy this lot are to go 4.5 years so far.
You know what's happening is that Man City fans are expectant. You know, if Pep Guardiola doesn't rebuild that team, then I promise you, his legacy will be completely and utterly tarnished, I promise you, because that's the same thing happened with Arsene. For me, Arsene Wenger isn't a great manager. For me, Arsene Wenger should not have got a statue at Arsenal. For me, I will never clap or celebrate that man. See, I call him man on the basis of what he left my football club with. I have no gratitude to what he did previously. In fact, I forgot about it because I remember his second half of his reign more than I remember the trophies because of the state he left it in. And for a lot of Arsenal fans, one of the things that get me is that they're all Wenger fans, but they're Arteta fans as well. One of the things they say is that the state Arteta found his football club in, and to what he's done now. So they're basically admitting Arsene Wenger is a destroyer of a football club. Yet they're Wenger fans, and that he's Papa Wenger. How can you contradict yourselves by calling him Papa Wenger and then acknowledging the fact that Arteta was the man who made us into a competitive club again? No, I don't acknowledge that. I just think he's just doing what he should be doing. Arsenal should be competing. But in your psyche, and let's play along, the destroyer has been replaced by the apprentice. So you admit that Arsene Wenger's a destroyer, but you all of a sudden you're just moving the goalposts. Find it quite extraordinary. You know, your hypocrisy. Yeah, and George should get a trophy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's embarrassing now. It's getting really embarrassing that no
Facts.
recognition. Every time I see Pat Jennings at Tottenham, where he's in a suite that's named after him, you know, and a member at Wild Lane, he's probably got the same suite at the new ground. He played for us for 8 years. Like Spurs fans acknowledge him as a great, yet one of our greatest ever managers gets nothing. I find that quite. I think it's rude.
A disgrace.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. Facts. Let me grab these super chats quick. Big up to Ricky, man. Realistic January solutions. Sack the manager. No, that's a realistic one. Sack him. Bless up, bro. Big up C Nike as well. Arteta was saying it was a tear, more like to 8 to 10 weeks. Same thing happened to Reece James. He rehabilitated in Saudi for a bit before getting surgery. Yeah, maybe he could do that. Yeah, that's true. It's true. Big up to you, bro. Big up to Off Meta Professor as well. Celebrating Rodri's injury. Karma's hitting mutants. Yep. Teach him to all sit there and laugh on it. Pathetic. Big up to Linda as well. Big up to the panel. Merry Christmas to one and all. Do you think Rashford will come to your football club? Hopefully not, but I do think we'll probably get him. And if we do, it'll be a loan with an obligation or something.
Oh, God, no.
But I ain't feeling that one. I can't lie. Bless up Highbury Scenes as well. Man who spent 100 million on 29 and Marino got rid of the squad players. Now complains about having a thin squad. The cheek of the tosser. Exactly. Facts. He's a wrong un, mate. Big up Mum Spaghetti as well. Old Trafford mice infestation. They have the king of the rats as their captain. Now they literally have mice being found dead and alive around food stores. What the fuck? Mad, isn't it? Crazy. Big up to James MUFC for becoming a membership as well, becoming a member. Bless up to Sava. Great stream with you, Eddie. Merry Christmas, mate. Bless up to you. Make sure you sub to his channel as well. Make sure you get on that Football Heritage TV. Big up to Vinny as well. Don't you think all this over-reliance on patterns is hampering the geniuses? Now we don't see any freaks like Ronaldinho coming up.
It's all
100%.
system-based. It's all system-based football. We watch this all the time. I told Lee, how many times do we sit here at night? 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. We watch these leagues, these unknown coaches or whatever, and you watching football, and then you watch football in Premier League. It's system-based. This is why it's a shock to so many people to the system this year that but Bournemouth and Forest are sitting up in the top half of the table. It's because they play football. All of this, you see all this direct system, this pep-based football. I used to give Kennedy a stick about it. We used to go the criminal pep, but it's true. You see what's happening in the pep. It's not working anymore. These teams that decide that, you know what, we're going to play the game of football as we know it. It's completely changing. And this is why we have trouble with some of these teams as well, because our manager refuses to come out of the system. He refuses to change at times. But he's going to have to this season. His hands are going to be forced this year to change that crap he's been doing for the last 2 years. It ain't going to work.
100%. But you know what?
Can I just start a great point you just made as well. George Easton, rest in peace.
Yeah, right? Rest in peace.
Played for Arsenal up till 66, right? I've had a lot of people say, Jez, what was he like? Well, it was before my time. I never saw him play for Arsenal. I saw him play for Stoke City, and then become manager. But Bertie Mee, 66, sold George Easton and got who? George Graham from Chelsea.
Yeah, 100%.
George Graham from Chelsea, who was playing at striker. It didn't work in the first season, 66, 67. So Bertie Mee put him in midfield and became one of the best midfielders at that time for Arsenal Football Club, and was in the team that won our first European trophy.
Exactly.
And won our first double FA Cup league, right? And the man then became our manager after leaving Millwall, and gets absolutely no respect when the fact he won more trophies, right, than any manager in modern era for Arsenal Football Club in the time he was our manager.
Exactly, and I think that's what really makes sense. The excuses and the reasons for him not getting a statue is just becoming more and more pathetic. Oh, he went to Tottenham. Well, Terry Neal came from Tottenham to Arsenal. Willie Young was at Tottenham and played for Arsenal. Pat Jennings went over there. You know,
Campbell came to Arsenal.
You know, the thing that hurts more than anything, right, is that I always look at a manager, and to be a great manager, you've got to do two things. You have to rebuild teams that need surgery, and you've got to do it on a repeated basis. That's why Sir Alex Ferguson's a great manager and the greatest, the best. And he used his 27 years at Man United properly and for the betterment of Man United Football Club. You look at, he was there for 27 years. For 20 of those years, Man United competed and won big trophies for 20. And even before he won the league in 93, they won the FA Cup in 90 and won the European Cup Winners' Cup in 91 and won the F League Cup in 92. That's a great manager. But another thing a great manager does, if he's going for a bad patch and he gets fired, he leaves sunk in place for the future. And George Graham left Arsenal Football Club, Ian Wright, David Seaman, and the back four, plus Martin Keown. Those are foundations that Arsene Wenger had to work with. He won his double on the basis of those foundations. What did Arsene Wenger leave Unai Emery? What did he leave Mikel? That's why, for me, Arsene Wenger's not a great manager.
Exactly.
I won't accept him as a great manager. I'm sorry to offend people. Well, I'm not, because they've said horrible, nasty, personal things about me, for my view. So I'm gonna sort of put vinegar in the wound more to their Arsene Wenger's reputation. I hope it hurts as well, and I hope it stings.
Let's get it right, Kenny. George Graham won Arsenal their second European trophy. What did Arsene Wenger win in Europe as the great manager? You know, blah, 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 blah. George Graham won us the bloody Cup Winners' Cup and got us to a UEFA Cup, but we lost that. Yeah. And people give this man absolutely no damn credit. It's a disgrace, man.
It's cowardness. The Conkeys are cowards. They have no respect for our history because they're cowards. If they had any, because at the end of the day, you can't. The Hillwoods are no longer at the football club. God bless his soul, Peter Hillwood's no longer with us. David Dean, who they ceremoniously sacked for trying to bring in American investment, is no longer influenced at the football club. So who's there? Ken Fryer, and I say it respectfully because we all got parents, but at his age, he should be really talking to the plants rather than being near a football club. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So really and truly, what is stopping the Cronkies for giving George Graham the respect he deserves? You know, I don't understand why Arsenal fans, especially Arsenal fans who tell me George Graham was the first Arsenal manager that made them fall in love with a great club. Why are they not doing anything to protest? Why isn't more Arsenal fans coming out and saying justice for George? Why?
Fact. I mean, I'm sorry, but this idiot, Ryan Henderson, wait, so now Wenger isn't a good coach. We never said that, you muppet. What we're saying is there is a coach there that hasn't got the respect he deserves. If you, Ryan, actually knew about Arsenal Football Club, which you don't, you've never been, right? So shut your mouth, move on, right? Go and support somebody over in America, because that's the level of football you know about. Because at the end of the day, we know about Arsenal, and all we're saying is one of the greatest Arsenal managers in modern history never got the respect he deserves. So shut up, go boil your head, right? Have a nice Christmas and stop coming in here Go and watch AFTV, because that's your level. Yeah, idiot level, brain dead level. Talk to the Muppets. Goodbye.
But you know what? This is when you're not seeing the discussion. Ken, I read an article. I should have put it in the group where they're saying, "Well, we got to go back." It was basically saying we need to go back because we were all saying Pep was the greatest manager, and I was just like, "Well, wait a minute, whoa." You know, Sir Alex Ferguson is for my lifetime. What I've seen was the greatest manager that I've ever seen, because, like you stated, he had to do it over decades. He did it over different decades and with different teams, and he walked out. He left winning trophies, and so you look at Pep. I've never seen Pep build a team. Never. I've never seen him have to tear a team down and start over, and then go on a successful run again. We've seen him buy players, and then he's had an extended run with the players. And if you look at what's going on with City now, you could probably say what's happened is that he's let the team get too old, and he didn't retool. Whereas he's always been able to ride out a team to where the team is good. But this goes to show that a lot of modern fans, they really don't look at history. And I say this all the time. I didn't get a chance to see a lot of George Graham. And so when you look at what he did during the period and who he did it to, I mean, bro, you got to go to Liverpool on the last day, 89, and go there and get a result against the Liverpool team in the 80s. And then you in the 90s. And then you're beating teams 1-0. Just beating them, just destroying them. And nearly go undefeated before Wenger went undefeated. This was back then. To go undefeated back then when a tackle was a tackle. And y'all, and you both, Kenny, Jez, y'all, and Lee, y'all know what I'm talking about. A tackle was a tackle. You know, not this right here, just a little touch. We're talking like you getting took out. And then to win trophies, European trophies, before Arsene Wenger even showed up to this football club, and y'all don't even recognize that, that's atrocity. That's scandalous. That's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace that there's not a trophy of George Graham at that stadium. But it's all because, he went to Tottenham. But it's okay, though, if a Tottenham player comes to us. We'll celebrate that. That's no problem. So accountable. We love to throw that in their face. Bro, this football club is absolutely ass backwards. I'm sorry I had to say it like that, but it's the truth.
No, facts. Absolute facts, man. Sorry about that. It's helped the missus with some boxes, some parcels. Couldn't carry them long. But anyway, where are we? What are we doing?
That's
there it is.
Job, innit?
Huh?
That's Father Christmas's job, innit?
That's what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, what's that all about? Especially when I'm bloody working. Anyway, big up to Linda as well. Or 2 super chats. I'll read them back to back. If you don't like winning, fuck off down the lane. Or Southampton. He's a Portsmouth fan, so that makes sense. Win a trophy or get out. I'm a Portsmouth fan. Big up, Linda, always. Kenny and Jez know more about Arsenal Football Club than you'll ever know if you lived 155 years. That's very true. If I don't know something about the club, I asked one of these two or both of them, and one of them definitely knows. Pretty much, anyway. 99.99% anyway. Bless up, Linda. Big up to Vinny as well. Wenger resurrected Henri Bergkamp from flops to icons. Gave me one of the best teams ever saw in 03 to 06. Agreeing his end was sad, but that being said, the sad part, fucking hell, I'll get me words out in a minute. That being said, a part of it was the stadium causing fund shortage. Vinny, I'm going to put this to bed real quick, and bless up for the super chats as well, my friend. Before we signed Dennis Bergkamp, he was in the top 3 of the Ballon d'Or. He was one of the best players in Europe at the time. Yeah, and I've said this before on here. When I got home from school that day, my dad said, you've signed Dennis Bergkamp. I said, you what? I said, you're on a fucking wind-up, mate. There's no, you signed Bergkamp. Back then, Sky didn't have Sky Sports. There was no mobile phones, all of that.
You had to do this. You had to do this.
It was a newspaper one or teletext.
It was back in the day.
Or teletext, yeah, CFAX and that. And my dad puts it on, yeah, and I still didn't believe him. And then when it came on the news in the evening, Bergkamp was holding up the shirt. I was like, we've signed fucking Dennis Bergkamp, man. You don't even know how gassed I was when I went to school the next day or whatever it was. Yeah. Mad. Dennis Bergkamp was a bad boy. And as for the stadium funds shortage, yeah, that is the biggest myth and lie ever spread around English football. Yeah, that stadium was on a 25-year mortgage at 20 million a year. Yeah, the Cronkies paid about 55% of it off, which was the remainder. Yeah, that stadium was not supposed to have been paid off until 2031. Yeah, and the Cronkies paid the remaining 240 million or whatever, paid it off and refinanced it to themselves. Yeah, in 2018.
That's true.
So yeah, Wenger is the biggest liar. Sky Sports peddled that crap out at the time. I remember Gary Neville doing a whole Monday Night Football on it. Yeah, saying he's paying the stadium off. And do you know what's mad? Is we were getting Champions League football every season. So that instantly paid for the stadium. So why were we selling all of our players?
Yep.
Why? It makes no sense. Wenger was definitely getting a kickback on profits. 100%. Yeah, 100%. That stadium myth is the biggest lie ever told in English football.
And I always say this. They said, oh, we're moving to compete with the likes of. Well, what the hell were we doing at the stadium before we left? What were we doing before we
Going
left?
invincible.
Yeah, what were we doing before we left? We're supposed to be winning, you know.
Hey, can you start this one from Ricky Proctor? He says he's got a question for me. You know, he said he started watching us in '98. Was Graham's legacy hindered by him joining Spurs and winning a trophy with them? That's actually a brilliant question, because one lie, we sang revolting songs about George when he was at Tottenham. We booed him in the North London derby. That's true. And you know, we were desperate for Leicester City not to win something. But when you get a bit older, you know, and you're mellow, yeah, and the fact he left Tottenham, you always think, you know what, he was a great manager. And at the time, Arsene Wenger was doing great things for our football club. He was playing fantastic football. He was getting the best players from France and in Europe. You were at a stage where you did say at the time, Arsene Wenger was a better manager. There's no doubt. You felt that in 98, 99 and 2000. And it was a case where everyone in this panel and every Arsenal fan were Wenger lovers. We're all Wenger lovers, because it's a situation whenever Arsene Wenger was on TV, you used to tell everyone to be quiet. Shh. Arsene Wenger speaking. Shh. The phone rings. Don't answer the phone. Arsene Wenger speaking. Someone will talk. Your voice is too loud. The manager's talking. And then when you get to say, if Arsene Wenger left, say in 2006, I think it would have been, you probably would have said Wenger's a better manager. But when he stayed up at the Emirates years, the fact we weren't competing, the fact we were getting smashed 8-2 and blah, blah, it became the equaliser. And then you looked at George, those 9 years, 6 trophies. He helped end Liverpool's domination, won at Anfield, lost only one game in 91, and we were down about 10 men. You start to look at it, it's like he's won in Europe. He is the better manager. But yeah, his legacy hasn't been tarnished. I think what's happened is that if you say nice things about George, then immediately you're attacking Arsene. And I think that the majority of fans at the football club, because they show a lot of affection for Arsene Wenger, rubbish George Graham. They use it as a stick to beat people like me, Lee, Jez, and Matty, because we're George Graham fans. That's their revenge. Him not getting a trophy is quite pathetic, really. But it's an excuse. He went to Tottenham. It's an excuse he won a trophy. And the bung thing is a thing that they're always going to use against him. But that's just become more and more redundant, because if you think about what Lee said, the amount of money that Arsene Wenger trousers from his football club without being successful. Let's not forget, for a coach who never won in Europe, stopped winning league titles, say we won a league title in 2004. He didn't win a league title for 14 years, and we still haven't won for 21 years. For a manager who didn't win any big trophies and went 9 years without winning a trophy, to earn what he earned was criminal. He was the highest paid manager.
Yeah, I was just saying, give it an ass. If I remember, he was the highest paid manager at one point.
When Ancelotti was doing his thing, Jose Mourinho was doing his thing, Fergie was doing his thing, yeah, Ancelotti was doing his thing. Like, some top managers out there, and he was the highest paid in Europe. For what?
You know, and I think a lot of
we've got sorry to cut you, mate. We've now got this scenario now with this manager. This manager's won 1 trophy in 5 years. And
he learned the greatest.
And he is on £15 million a year. He's on $3 million a year less than Pep.
Don't forget he was his understudy. So if anybody know how to work the system, it's going to be Arteta. But when you look at the latter years of Wenger, I think for me, and a lot of fans bypass this. It's those years when we were selling off Nasri, we were just selling players to City, just selling them left and right, and we wasn't getting anything. And every time you bring it up, we got to pay off for the stadium. We got to pay the stadium off. We got to pay the stadium off. We got money on the books. We got to get money on the books. And then finally, when the stadium's paid off, you still ain't doing nothing. So what we here for? Where's the world-class players? Because we were told when we left Highbury that we were moving to the Emirates to compete with the likes of this, that, and other. We're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and do this, and do that. We're going to get world-class players and do this and that. And then you look up 20 years later, Lee, and we're still sitting in the same situation where we were 20 years ago. If you'd have told me, Jez, Lee, in 2003, 2002, 2001, 2004, y'all, you're going to get a new stadium, and guess what? You won't win a trophy for God knows how long. Man, we like, what? Are you crazy? What are you smoking? And then 20 years later, you look up and then look how long it took to do everything. And still ain't got a European trophy. And Chelsea's won 2. Won two Champions Leagues. That's the thing that really just when Chelsea won the first one, I said, okay, well, maybe that'll light a fire in their ass. Nope, didn't do it. Then they won another one. It still ain't lit a fire up under them. And get ready to do it on part to get ready to get the whole collection.
Mm. Yeah. If they win that Conference League, they've won every trophy available in Europe ever.
True.
Literally the whole collection.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And this is the thing, yeah. If you look right in the last 5 years, Chelsea have won a Champions League. Yeah, they've fallen off a cliff for 2 years, and now they're above us. Oh, I think they won the Europa League 6 years ago. They beat us in the semi-final. Beat us. No, they weren't even fucking that long. 5 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years ago, yeah.
5 years ago, they beat us, slapped us in the final. They've won a Europa League and the Champions League since this manager's been at Arsenal. That is fucking crazy. And then they fell off a cliff. The owner got forced to sell the club. Then off a cliff, come back, and they're above us. Nah, I've just think that's crazy.
See, that's what I've been trying to tell you. That's what I've been trying to tell you. When we be talking, I'm like, go and look at Chelsea. I said, look at what they've done, and then look at how many years it took for us to do what we're doing. And then here they are. They've gone down the toilet. Came off a championship season, went down the toilet, got rid of Mourinho, went and got another manager, won with that one, got another. They just consistently found ways to keep doing it over and over and over. And then we keep getting these excuses when it comes, like you get the Ryan Hendersons of the world come in and they love to get these excuses. Oh, well, the manager, he's doing a great job. What are you complaining about? What do you see? What do you want? What are you whining about? Meanwhile, Justice sitting right in second place. They going up, they going on about their business. They moving and grooving, winning trophies, and we sitting here looking like fools. I'm telling you, we the laughing stock of this league. I know people like to take a shot at Spurs. People have fun at United's expense, but when May comes, who is the team everybody laughing at when May come? This one right here.
Yeah, because that's true. Because Man United won a trophy the last 2 seasons. Yeah, Tottenham don't win anything anyway. Yeah, and our fans fucking make out with the best team in the world. And then when it all falls down, they laugh at us. Yeah, listen, the mad thing about it is, if you actually think about it as well, Chelsea have actually won 3 trophies in Europe since then.
Yeah.
Because they won the European Super Cup. They beat Villarreal on penalties. So they've won 3 trophies in Europe in the last 5 years. No, we've won 2 in our fucking entire history.
Yeah, great, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, how did Thomas Tuchel manage to do that, by the way? I know it was Sarri, Maurizio Sarri for the Europa League, but how is it? In fact, no, they've won more than that. They've won more than that.
They won. Chelsea have won 2 European.
They won 3 European trophies under Tuchel.
Yeah, but in their total,
they won the Club World Cup. They won the Club World Cup as well, didn't they?
Exactly. Yeah, but you think about Chelsea in Europe.
They've won 4 trophies in 5 years in Europe.
You look at Chelsea in Europe. When you think about the teams in the top 6, our European return is so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. It's like it's embarrassing. It's probably more embarrassing than our return in the League Cup. I mean, we've only won 2 League Cups.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's embarrassing, especially when the League Cup arguably is probably the easiest competition to win out of the FA, that and the FA Cup. And we've only won it twice. And you think about a legacy in Europe, you think about those great teams under Arsene Wenger. We're winning leagues, smashing teams domestically, but in Europe, we're getting mullered. Do you remember the times when we got mullered at home by Barcelona 4-2? We lost to Lens, then we lost to Fiorentina.
Mm.
I mean, and we had great players like, Petit Vieira. We had that back four. We had Seaman. We had Bergkamp.
Tanks.
Yeah, Henri at times. We had Anelka. How the hell was that team so shit in Europe?
Because of the manager.
Hey Lee, and how many League Cups did we win during that period with that team?
How many you had, mate?
Back in the day, not now so much, obviously not now, but back in like 70s, 80s, early 90s, the League Cup was taken seriously.
Yeah,
it was. I mean, I remember going to first time at Wembley, we lost in extra time 3-1 to Swindon Town, 68, 69. Then we lost to Leeds United as well. And then we went to another League Cup final. I can't remember who we played now, but anyway, we lost. And it was a lot. It was a lot more taken seriously by the big teams back then.
Yeah, and then money's fucked the game up.
It's not.
Money's killed the game. I do need to wrap. This Fiorentina Udinese game starts in about 3 minutes. But this is a very good comment, and I'll grab the super chats. European heritage does matter, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, because when you're playing in a Champions League final against Real Madrid and you're clean through on goal, we've seen it. How many times did Dortmund go clean through on goal in that Champions League final in the summer? They could have been 4-0 up against Madrid. Yeah, and when they go clean through, they're like, oh shit, it's Real Madrid. It's a Champions League final. You're on mute, Kenny. Yeah, Champions League final. It's Real Madrid. They shit the bed. If they go clean through them exact identical scenarios against Augsburg or Hoffenheim and Heidenheim, wherever, yeah, they'll probably bury all of them because they're not playing Madrid. It's not the tournament, the lights. Oh my god, it's a final. Yeah, so they shit the bed.
Lee, don't forget the great. I know, Matty, yourself, and Jay's think that the Iceman's our greatest ever player. I always say Vavavoom. Let's not forget our greatest ever player, when we were down to 10 men, tired, was in front of goal. And all he had to do was beat Vita by ear, and I was right behind it. I said, come on, mate. All I was thinking about when he went through, oh my God, I'm going to go to the town hall and see town hall, European Cup. And then our greatest ever player, let's just say he pissed his pants at the bed. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he did. Shit the bed.
He did. Kenny, before we wrap it up, Lee, did you get the question I asked you right at the beginning?
You know what? I'm going to get it wrong because I want to know, was there a game in between Liverpool on Good Friday 2004 and Leeds a week later, where Thierry Henry scored a hat-trick against Liverpool and then he scored 4 against Leeds United the week afterwards? But was there a game in between that? Was there a game in between that? That's one of the things I was going to ask you, Jez.
Well, the only one I came up with, right, and this is not modern day era, was Ted Drake, 1934, 7 goals against Loughborough Town, and then in the cup, and then 3 goals against Man United. It's the only one I came up with.
10 goals in a week ain't bad, is it?
No, it's not too bad at all. But I think, Jez, you need to go and check for me if there was a game in between Liverpool and Leeds games. So both were at home. Henry,
roughly
2004.
Actually, hold up. I don't think there was a game. Yeah, this is a good point. Somebody's just put a comment in. Big up, Darius. There mustn't have been a game. We bombed out of the Champions League and we were out the cup. Yeah, because that was when Henry scored a hat trick. Yeah, and what's his name? It was Michael Owen that scored, wasn't it? Steven Gerrard.
They put them 2-1 up. That's right.
Yeah, and then Henry said, "Fuck that! I'm running around everyone." That week, I think we'd got knocked out the FA Cup and the Champions League. Yeah, and I remember that game because it was, if Arsenal F this up, they're going to F up the fucking league. Yeah, so I don't think there was a game. I don't think there was.
It was on a Friday night. It was basically Good Friday, and then we had the Friday night game where we played Leeds, and it was just some of the goals he scored was just ridiculous. You know,
I'm looking at something, Kenny. I'm looking at something right now. You know, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, because it's hard to go back to way back then. It says, I'm reading an article. It says, Ian Wright was a legendary sniper for the English Premier League club back in the 90s. He became the second player to score consecutive hat tricks while playing for Arsenal. The 2 times were against Ipswich and Southampton in March of 1994.
Who's that? Sorry?
Ian Wright.
Ian Wright.
Interesting.
I remember the hat trick against Ipswich.
That's a good question. That's a fun.
That's a great question.
That's one of those fun facts there.
Well, I'm on our fixtures for 2004.
Yeah,
we played Newcastle. Played Newcastle.
Oh, right. So it wasn't back to back then. No, it wasn't.
No. I've just looked now. We beat Liverpool 4-2. Then we played Newcastle. We drew 0-0, and then we beat Leeds 5-0.
5-0. That's right. Yeah. All right. So it was 2 home games in a row.
Yeah, big up to everyone who's logged in. Let me grab these super chats real quick. Big up to Luke. Bless up, brother. Saka's first of many injuries to come. This manager has overplayed him, mismanaged him, and now his career will be stop-start through missing games. Yep, totally agree. We've been calling this for a long time. Let's hope he's all right and he gets back to fitness real quick. But again, like Matty was saying earlier, this is the wrong time to be getting a hamstring injury, because when that January and February snow sets in, the frost on the ground and that, like if he does come back in say 4 to 5, 6 weeks time, it's still gonna be fucking freezing cold. Yeah, February's really cold.
He's gonna rush him back. That's what.
You know it's coming.
He's done it with so many players. He's done it with Jesus and fucked his career up. Yeah, he's doing it with Ben White, and now he's had knee surgery, which he needed in August. Yeah, before when the season started, he needed surgery, and he's played him. Yeah, and then we're sitting there going, Declan Rice with a broken toe. He pushed Thomas Partey on the pitch against Tottenham. He pushed Kieran Tierney back on the pitch the other day. Just after the first game back.
Odegaard's not fully fit. He's not.
On and on and on.
The thing with Declan Rice is he's on a broken foot, or a broken toe. That could easily turn into a fracture.
And the thing is, if somebody stamps on him accidentally, like this manager's a scam, mate. I'm telling you.
Imagine he was playing against, Fash to Bash and Vinnie Jones. And
mate. Jesus Christ.
Duncan Ferguson. They fixed him up real good.
Yeah, if they knew he had a broken toe, trust me, they'd be stamping on his feet all game.
Of course they would.
Especially in the cold.
Mate.
Oh, yeah, mate. Big up to Arminius as well. City midfield is more open. Fucking hell, mate. Big up Arminius, man. Big up Puneet as well. Arteta's won 3 trophies, bro.
3 collection plates.
Mad. And a quick question before we go. Would you trade all the trophies you've seen Arsenal win for a Champions League? Me personally, no.
No.
Man, we have some fun times, bro. Nah.
Let's not forget, not the Forest won a Champions League, and they've been relegated a few times since then. And Aston Villa's won a Champions League and relegated a few times as well. So, no.
And on that bombshell, this is going to redirect to my watch-along. Fiorentina nil, Udinese nil, 3 minutes gone. But Merry Christmas to everybody. The last show before Christmas Day. Hopefully everyone has a lovely day, whether you celebrate or not. Just chill out. I will be working. It's just another day to me. I will be here, and I ain't seen the missus till the evening, so I'm going to work in the day for a little bit. But Jez, all the best to you and your family, mate. What you got coming up show-wise?
I'm doing a show tonight, 7:30, Christmas show. It's just a general piss take thingy, Bob, whatever. I've invited various people on. Whoever comes on, it doesn't matter. And it's just going to be a giggle show. And I wish Lee, Matty, Penny, all your families have a great Christmas. Enjoy yourselves, and see you after Christmas, boys.
Yeah, man. Kenny, likewise to you and your family, mate. Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much.
Have a
Thank
good
you very
day.
much. Likewise
And I
to
know
you.
I know you're licking your chops in excitement for the game on the 27th because you love Christmas
No,
football.
You know what? One of these days, people are going to think I'm right. But with injuries to Saka and all this football we're playing over the thing, you know, having a midwinter or winter break may have helped him. But you never know. Football's day. I love tradition. Christmas is for eating loads of food and more food.
Boxing Day football. It's been like that since the 30s.
Don't get him started. Don't get him started, Jez.
I've got nothing against your football. I'm talking about filling my belly. I'm thinking about now what was Christmas like? You know, in America you have turkey. In England you used to have Wellington minced beef. In other countries you had chicken, minced beef. No, chicken, roast beef, duck. God, those are the days, eh?
We have a little duck on Wednesday, Kenny.
No, I think it's turkey. We're having turkey. As long as I hope the turkey's seasoned.
No, I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will be. And Matty, likewise to you as well, mate. Yeah, what you got coming up? Merry Christmas to you and your family as well.
Yeah,
and,
likewise, man. Merry Christmas to everybody on the panel. Today at 6 p.m., me and Tony Clark are finally gonna do this damn stream. we're gonna finally get this stream done. So we'll be talking about this past weekend and looking forward to the fixtures this weekend. And of course, we'll talk about the soccer injury as well. And Merry Christmas to each and every one of you all, man. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Can't believe that this year has flown by as quick as it did, man. And so, hey, man, this is the business end for me of the season here. So we'll get ready for it. So yeah, we'll be back on Friday for the Ipswich game. So
I'm not even going to read that.
No.
SG, your jokes.
Basically, have football as much as you want. I will not be spending any time with those two men. Thank you.
No. Yeah, big up to everyone, man. Listen, 2024 is nearly at an end. It's another year that this football club's wasted. I think Fiorentina are about to have a penalty. They're checking VAR right now at the camera.
Hey, Lee, Monza fired the coach, by the way.
After losing to Juve yesterday.
Yeah. They fired the legend Nesta. He's out.
Yeah, he's gone. He's been sacked after losing to Juventus. Alexis Sanchez is on the bench for Udinese tonight as well.
Oh, he's back at Udinese.
Udinese, bro. Yeah. They're checking this penalty. I think Fiorentina have got a penalty coming up. It looked a penalty. He booked the player for diving. Fucking blatant penalty, mate. But anyway, listen, it's going to redirect over there. Merry Christmas for anyone who ain't going to see my mug on the camera between now and then. But if you are,
I'm wishing Mikel a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, let's hope he gets a new set of tactics and some players in the summer. At Christmas, and we can go on and actually win something in the summer. How about
that? Hopefully.
But yeah, listen, we're going to redirect over there, and I'm out, people. I'm out. Bless up for everyone locked in, and enjoy your Christmas dinners if you ain't going to catch up with us before then. Later.
Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Penalties given. Boss.
Santa Claus out.